Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Man, please. All about my bread like some ham and cheese. My dog. Rax, what's gravy? Before I get into any sports or current sports or basketball, whatever. I mean, I guess this guy, a legend in sports, was a part of sports. Talking in circles, but everybody loved him, including myself. Rest in peace to the great, late Bob Uecker. St. Louis Cardinals champion, got a ring. Milwaukee Brewers legend, and the guy who taught the next generation how to play the game. Let's listen to him right here explaining the best way to catch a knuckleball. The great catcher, Bob Uecker, here explaining how to catch a knuckleball.
Remember when I talked about catching the knuckleball?
Right.
The easiest way to catch it was to wait until it stopped rolling and just pick it up.
Moment of silence for Bob Uecker.
Right.
The easiest way to catch it was to wait until it stopped rolling and just pick it up.
Wait until it stops rolling, kids. Just pick it on up. Definitely. As a Mets fan, I jumped out of the bed when Pete Alonso hit that home run against the Brewers in the playoffs. Had a lot of money on the Mets. One of the most exhilarating, exciting bets probably in the last 6 months, just off the top of the head. And it's crazy that Bob Uecker was on the last call for that. And you could tell the heartbreak in his voice. I'm not going to play that one. I'm sure you've heard it. It's the thing that's going the most viral. But I even remember in the moment listening and Bob Uecker saying, this one's got a sting on it. I felt him. I really, literally, when I heard him say that in the moment, even as a Mets fan and as a winning bettor that moment, I thought, damn. Shit does suck for the Brewers. But anyway, let's get back to some hoops. WCC Conference. Uh-oh. Gonzaga. They just took the latch off the back door. Went to bed with it unlocked. That's the funny part and the fun part about the WCC as it is constructed now, as it has been constructed. Only another season or two, I believe, one more season, and then Gonzaga is going to jump over to the Mount West, which is, I can't wait for that. But right now, or at least in the past, it was always if Gonzaga loses to anybody, can anybody beat them in the conference play? That's why they always have the toughest non-conference schedule. They're trying to prove to the committee, hey, just because we walk the dog through the conference, we can play with the big boys too. But this season, with the realignments, I wasn't supposed to just dive into this. I'm supposed to tell you what's coming on the show and then come back to this later. I'll get back to it. F it. The captain by a hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, baby. Going live. It is a Friday. If you know how this show works, we're gonna recap Thursday. I got my Saturday lines for you. Last piece of paper, wrote it on cardboard. Got a whole gang of them. Broke down every game for Saturday. Gonna give you out my numbers. Want to talk WCC Conference? I'll probably reiterate what I just said a little bit and then continue from there. Also, 4 bets. I know it's Friday. How do you find 4 bets? Well, this is a pretty damn good slate for bet for Friday. I am excited about the WCC. But yeah, I'm gonna jump into the recap of last night, which will lead me into it. Gonzaga lost last night. That is why I'm talking about it. But I'm gonna start this thing off with Memphis losing their first conference game of the season. Memphis 81-88. Temple off in that thing. PJ Haggerty 21 points in the loss. I don't know if you missed it, but Minnesota in overtime. Thriller half court, or I guess from the logo a little inside of half court. Minnesota with a 3-point buzzer beater in a tied game. I'm sure the whole world was thinking double overtime, including myself. This kid Danny Garcia, 27 points, 12 rebounds, hits a crazy, madness-like three-pointer. Minnesota, at the same time as Michigan loses their first Big Ten game, Minnesota wins their first Big Ten game. Shout out to damn Minnesota, screwing me over as much as they can this season. Trying to start a rivalry. I won't let them. College of Charleston, only people that love me. They cover and win. Shout out to them, taking down Campbell 67-61 by the hair of my chinny chin chin. College of Charleston covers, I believe it was 5.5. It actually moved to 4.5. If I almost double, triple down on that thing, turned out to be more of a sweat than I expected. Mama, this surely is a dream. Louisiana Tech, the Texters. I talked for 3 months about how this is my pick to win the Conference USA Conference. Louisiana Tech said, slow your roll, buddy. Nobody's heard of us for a reason. Louisiana Tech loses to Jacksonville State, falls to 2-3 in conference play. Hate to see it. New Mexico State, don't look now, but they are at the top of that Conference USA at 4-0 after beating Florida International last night 59-52. Talk about a barn burner. Slow-paced game there. Nobody got out of the 50s. Another overtime game riddled with overtime games last night was the college basketball landscape. Maryland, the Terrapins, they fall to Northwestern. Northwestern gets a home win at home. That's a tough team to beat at home. Overtime, a buzzer beater. Also there, people wait until March. You're missing out on the madness that is college basketball. It starts in November. The madness is real, and the madness is here. Nebraska. I think if I tell you that a team's going to do good and be well and be a team you should bet and ride and look forward to watching in the tournament, they just going to turn into ass, especially in this Big Ten. Not really. I mean, I told you Michigan State way back when. But UCLA, Nebraska, there's one more team. I can't think of them. Just falling apart on me, man. But anyway, who gives a hot ham? I had a feeling they were laying way too much against Rutgers. Almost took the Rutgers plus 8.5. I did not think Rutgers would win outright though, and they did. 85-82, high scoring game. Ace Bailey, the phenom, 24 points, 11 rebounds. A lot of people think Cooper Flagg's going to be the first overall pick. I got an argument. Ace Bailey is head and shoulders better, especially at the next level, than Cooper Flagg will be. Also, shout out to Bryce Williams, a kid that doesn't get enough love. 21 points in the loss for Nebraska. I think Ole Miss is the only team that hasn't lost 4 in a row after I said they were a team to ride. Grand Canyon, trying to get back on track. Not really off track, just haven't been covering. They win by 30. Put a turkey dog whooping 2 servings on Abilene Christian last night, 88-58. Man. Santa Clara, 4-2 now in WCC play. This is the other thing. I can't wait to talk about this WCC Conference. Santa Clara and Washington State last night had an amazing chance to be tied in first right now, or tied in second. St. Mary's is undefeated. Santa Clara could have been 5-1. They go to 4-2, losing to Loyola Marymount. Embarrassing. And then you have Washington State. I mean, hot ham. San Diego was 3-15 going into that game, 0-5 in WCC play. Whoa, hold on, excuse me. Sorry, the gamblers in me. I thought Washington State lost this thing. They just didn't cover them. My bad. It turns out they actually won the game, so F it. I was about to say Washington State should be 5-1 right now, but I guess not. Call me. You can call me. He dropped 27 points for Washington State last night in a win, I guess, against San Diego. Washington State does improve to 4-2. Takes away half of my argument there. Sometimes that's a better I gotta remember. Just because I lost money on their ass don't mean they lost. But anyway, it was a pretty damn good Thursday. Almost forgot. Gonzaga. They dropped a 5-1. I'm sure you've heard it by now if you've heard the show. Said it about 6 times already. 89-97. Wayne Tinkle in the game. Oregon State. Every time he's on the hot seat before the season, they were like, this might be it, bruh. You'll probably be fired by January. He said, not if I have anything to do about it. Goes on an amazing run. I remember 2019, 2020, they were trying to fire Wayne Tinkle. He brought him to the tournament and had a nice little run. And he's doing the same thing again this year, it looks like. Also, and I'll talk about this in the next segment a little more. F it. The next segment is right here, baby. Captain by a hook. Let's dive into this WCC conference real quick. Monday, I plan on breaking down every conference as where we are now. About 6-7 games in. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but there's only about 13, 14 games left. So I'm going to break it down right now, try to catch us up to speed, see if there's any futures. I'm going to dive this weekend into all of the books and lines and see if there's any bets I feel like we should be jumping on. Any teams undervalued. I'll touch on every conference on Monday, but today I want to specifically talk about the WCC, the West Coast Conference, because of Gonzaga's loss last night and what it means. You have St. Mary's, a very, very good St. Mary's team. I want to argue they're better than Gonzaga this year, but every time you think that, Gonzaga slaps them around and still wins the conference anyway. But St. Mary's, they're 5-0. Hate to say an easy game, but it's the WCC. They should win tomorrow. Gonzaga should win tomorrow too, but we'll see about that. But St. Mary's should be undefeated until they see Gonzaga. St. Mary's has, they just beat San Diego by 60, 40, exaggerating. They take on Pepperdine tomorrow. Should roll through that one. Pepperdine is 1-4 in conference play, 7-11, open all night. Overall record. And then they take on San Francisco, the Dons. Tough stretch there. Right after that, you get Washington State. Next week is a huge week for the WCC because both San Francisco, the Dons, and Washington State are right there behind Gonzaga and St. Mary's with 2 losses. You have Santa Clara, who could have got a win yesterday and boosted their chance. They're 4-2. Washington State's 4-2. Oregon State's 4-2. San Francisco is 5-2. Both San Francisco and Washington State will get a shot at St. Mary's next week. And then St. Mary's has a little fluffer against Santa Clara, who, watch out now. Preseason, Santa Clara, it was rumors they got the best 1-2 guard combo in the nation. It looks like they're figuring it out. They weren't doing great in the beginning, but they're a tough team. If you Santa Clara might get them. You take on San Francisco, Washington State. And then you got Gonzaga on February 1st. I'm assuming that's a Saturday game, just the way this stuff usually works out. And then you got Santa Clara on a random Wednesday. Tough 4-game stretch for St. Mary's. And then, oh yeah, after that, here's San Francisco, here's Oregon State, Santa Clara, Washington State again before you see Portland and Gonzaga. And then you close the season out with LMU and Oregon State. So, St. Mary's, even though right now they're undefeated and in the first place, the beautiful thing about this conference and the conference's realignment, we ended up with some Pac-12. I was about to say Pac-10. That's how old I am. We ended up with some Pac-12 teams in this WCC conference. They're not scared of St. Mary's, and they're not scared of Gonzaga. St. Mary's and Gonzaga is no longer the two quote-unquote big dogs. I mean, you got Oregon State and Washington State, who's been playing against Arizona, Arizona State, Oregon, Washington, big name schools. They're used to playing against bigger competition, and they showed it last night, beating Gonzaga. This will be a interesting conference, maybe for the first time in a long time. I honestly, pissed off's the wrong word, but I got a few tickets on Gonzaga at some dumb prices. I mean, like minus 200, minus 300. I think I even took them at minus 650. This is automatic, you know. Not looking like it. Gonzaga really letting me down, man. They just letting me down. I'll just say that. They should be turkey dog whooping teams, and they're just not doing it. They take on Santa Clara tomorrow. Should roll through that one. I'm a bet them again. My number, just a real quick, I got them 11.5. I'm gonna see what the number is when it comes out. Then they take on Portland. They can get their lick back at Oregon State, and then they have the huge game on the road against St. Mary's. Their schedule, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I need to stop bringing my phone in here, Doug. You text me at 7 o'clock in the morning about some other shit, Doug. That's on you, baby. St. Mary's, Gonzaga. Sorry, people that don't know. I got a life outside of gambling. Um. Anyway, Gonzaga, baby. Their schedule's a little lighter than St. Mary's just because of the way it's arranged. It's tougher towards the end of it. These next 6 to 8 games, they should be gravy. But then they run into San Francisco twice in 6 games, Washington State, St. Mary's back to back. But other than that, Gonzaga does have the easier schedule, in my opinion. Still think Gonzaga comes out on top, but it'll be a fun conference to watch. San Francisco, the Dons, 15-5 overall, 5-2 in conference play. They might be the team nobody's ever talked about to win this conference. I've been talking about Washington State. I've talked about St. Mary's. Wayne Tinkle can get the hell out of my face at Oregon State. I don't believe in him, but he could probably do it. But San Francisco is a team I haven't heard anybody talk about. They're 11-0 at home. The one thing that does arise a red flag, losing record on the road, 2-3 on the road, but if they can get some road wins, San Francisco will be right there in the thick of it. They take on Oregon State at home tomorrow. Then they have St. Mary's. They got a tough schedule too. St. Mary's, San Diego, Washington State, St. Mary's, LMU, Gonzaga. They end the season with Gonzaga, which sucks. I was about to say they got the last 4 games pretty easy route. But this WCC conference, for the first time in a long time, has turned into a conference to watch out for, to keep track of. It's no longer just a cakewalk for the Zags. Man, I can't wait for Gonzaga to jump into the Mount West. Anyway, I'm gonna slap the shit out of somebody over this text message. I'm just letting y'all know. It ain't got nothing to do with sports. I'll gamble. Just slapping the shit out of somebody. That's all y'all need to know. Let's look at Saturday's numbers, baby. It is a long one, lengthy slate. I know some of you will be watching NFL playoffs. Just don't waste your time. All right. Who play tomorrow? Chiefs. Yeah. Don't waste your time. Just wait till next week. I'm kidding. I'll probably be watching. Probably want to watch the Texans game. I'll probably check out the Commanders game. I don't know. I'm enamored with Jaden Daniels, but I'll see. I'll probably be flipping back and forth between some stuff. But this college basketball slate, too pretty for me to miss. Let me pull it up because y'all know me, I never write down who the team's playing for some reason. Like a damn fool. All right, start the morning off. We got some great games at 11 o'clock. At 11 and o'clock. At 11 o'clock, man, I'm off today. Kentucky, baby, they're -2.5 taking on Alabama. Well, they're not -2.5. I'm sorry. These are my numbers. -2.5 on Kentucky taking on Alabama. Kentucky at home. Alabama coming off of a loss to Ole Miss. They'll come out fighting, but I think Kentucky ultimately wins a close one, around 4 to 6 points. Give me Kentucky -2.5. We got Houston taking on Central Florida. Houston on the road in 5-0 in Big 12 play. Give me Houston -13.5 there. That is the number I got for that game. We got UConn hosting Creighton. I'm on Marquette big in the Big East. I say it every week, almost every 2 days. I feel like I'll be rooting for Creighton. Probably won't bet this, but I do like Creighton to keep it close. Creighton is the hotter team right now. I'm going to look at Creighton. If I can get them +5 or more, I'm going to look to take Creighton plus the 5. UConn. Not blowing teams out like they used to, still dealing with some injuries. I think Creighton, not only keep it close, might upset them, but I like Creighton plus anything over 5. We got Louisville, baby. Pat Kelsey in the game. 6-1 in ACC play, taking on the lowly 1-5 Virginia. Give me Louisville -4.5 at home. I'll take it up to 6.5. That number is probably going to be bigger than I want. Probably gonna be one of those games I stay away from because the number's big and then regret it. Auburn going down to Georgia. Georgia been a great home team this season. Auburn changes that. Give me Auburn -2.5 on the road against a tough Georgia team. And then Kansas taking on Kansas State. Give me Kansas, baby. -9.5. Honestly, you can take this thing -100. Kansas is winning this game by 40. No way Kansas State stands a chance against an angry, pissed off Kansas team. At some point, we're just going to have to realize they are who they are. Maybe they get better, but I doubt it. You're playing with 4 or 5 year seniors. These guys, they are who they are. Hunter Dickinson's not going to get better. DeJuan Harris, not going to get better. KJ Adams, not going to get better. AJ Stores, like maybe your only chance, him and Zeke Mayo, of players that can improve and find their groove. But other than that, this core for Kansas is what it is. Give me Kansas -9.5 against Kansas State. I got to speed this thing up. We're going to be here for an hour. Marquette taking on Xavier, baby. Give me Marquette -6.5 at home against Xavier. Marquette's been barely sneaking by these games, so I'm going to look for a low number. I added that into my line. Instead of double digits, like they should be -11. Probably only going to win by 7 or 8. Give me -6.5 on Marquette. Cincinnati, they're hosting Arizona State, baby. The Sun Devils. Both of these teams 1-4 in Big 12 play. Both of these teams a disappointment in their conference play. Cincinnati -3 at home, taking on Arizona State. Texas Tech, they're taking on Arizona. This is going to be a good ass game. Give me Texas Tech at home. Coin flip it. I got -1.5. I'd take the money line if I was you. The Ponies of SMU. Give me them on the road in Miami -3.5. And then back to the ACC. I guess that is the ACC now. SMU's in the ACC, people. We're going to go Wake Forest. Wake Forest. I passed them up. F them, whoever they play. Wake Forest -5. Give me North Carolina, keeping it in the ACC. North Carolina at home taking on Stanford. Give me North Carolina minus 8.5. It's usually weird to kind of guess numbers, but Purdue, Oregon, I'm talking about totals. Give me over 156. Hopefully I can get it over 152. This thing is going to be a running and gunning. I think both teams get into the 80s. Oregon, Purdue over 156.5 there. Wisconsin, they're on the road in Southern California. Give me Wisconsin minus 3.5, taking on the Trojans of USC. Tennessee, baby. They're taking on the I forgot what I used to say. Vanderbilt. The house that Vanderbilt. Something like that. Tennessee taking on Vanderbilt. Give me Tennessee minus 4.5 on the road. This is probably a spot where you can get Tennessee. I'm not going to say a low number. I don't know. I think they win this thing by a lot. I mean, they just blew Georgia out, and now they're going to Vanderbilt. Different team on the road than at home, though. But give me Tennessee minus 4.5. Florida. Again, first your head coach got allegations, and then now your assistant coach, ex-player, got allegations. Men, can we do better? All men. Stop harassing these damn women. Florida, minus 6 taking on Texas. Still think they get the damn win. F them. The Orangemen of Syracuse, I'm going to be on that money line, baby. They're taking on Notre Dame. Give me Syracuse at home on the money line. They'll probably be 1.5, 2.5 point favorites. I'm going to try and get the money line anywhere under 140, minus 140. Give me Syracuse on the money line. The Orangemen, Iowa State, baby. You know I'm going to back them. They are stifling on the defensive end, undefeated in Big 12 play. They are on the road against a tough West Virginia team. It don't matter. This ain't Kansas, bro. Give me Iowa State minus 11. Watch West Virginia beat them outright for me talking that noise for me and my boys. McNeese, Will Wade in the game. Give me them minus 14.5 over Lamar. And then we're going to go to my guys, my favorite guys. They've been taking care of me all year. College of Charleston, baby. Give me them minus 6.5 against Northeastern. College of Charleston at home, doing what they do best. Oh, Mississippi. One of my favorite schools this year. Chris Beard in the game. Watch out for Ole Miss. Final Four alert on Ole Miss. Hey, it could happen. The only thing that scares me, for some reason, after they beat Alabama a few days ago, they went on social media and talked trash to Mississippi State. What? Talk trash to Alabama. You just slapped them. You got to see Mississippi State this weekend. We're the only team in Mississippi to get a win tonight. That was after Mississippi State's lost to Auburn. Ole Miss beat Alabama. Just poor whatever the hell by the social media team. That scares the hell out of me. Mississippi State's probably going to dog walk their ass like Memphis did. But give me Ole Miss. 4-0 in SEC play, minus 2.5. I just want to tell y'all, they've been talking shit. Hopefully they can cash that check that their mouth been writing, or their ass is grass. Buddy! Bring it back to the 70s. Give me Drake, minus 8 on the road, taking on Indiana State. Hold on now. Give me a record deal. We're going to go Washington State, baby. They're taking on Portland. Give me them to blow them out. Washington State minus 13.5. Got 5 more for ya. We're going to go the Blue Devils of Duke on the road, taking on Boston College. Duke absolutely running through this ACC. Give me Duke minus 21.5. The biggest number I got for you on Saturday. San Diego State, baby. They're taking on the running Rebels of Las Vegas. Give me San Diego State minus 4.5 at home. And then St. John's, the Johnnies, they're rolling 6-1 in Big East play, 15-3 overall. They're taking on the 1-5 Seton Hall in conference play. Give me St. John's on the road to win by double digits. St. John's minus 9.5. and a hook. Hook 'em, Johnny. And then we're going to go Gonzaga. I know. F them. But I think they bounce back. They got to bounce back. It's Mark Few. And Mark Few bounces back. Give me Gonzaga minus 11 and a hook against Santa Clara on Saturday night, back at home after the upsetting loss last night. And then we're going to go St. Mary's on the road against Pepperdine. Pepperdine. Give me St. Mary's minus 16 and a half. And then there's a good one in Oregon State and San Francisco. I would take the Dons as slight home favorites. San Francisco minus 3 and a hooker. Excuse me. I didn't mean for that to come out as dirty as it did. 3 and a hook, baby. Give it to me. Let's look at today's slate before we get the hell up out of yonder. Not too many games to preview. I pretty much got a bet on all the good ones. But we'll look at what the hell's going on. Look at what the I need like a live band. Get some horns and a funky bass rocking around here. DePaul. They're taking on Georgetown. F Georgetown. That means fade Georgetown. DePaul's plus 9.5. DePaul's been keeping it close against everybody for some reason, except for Villanova, who beat them by 50. Maybe Georgetown beats them by 50 as well. But if I had to bet this thing, DePaul plus the points would be my bet. And then Fresno State taking on Air Force 2. TRASH. Trash ass teams. Give me Fresno State minus 3.5 if I had to do it. But yeah. Let's get to these bets. That was quick. Huh? I told you. Got to bet on all the good ones. All the good ones. That boy Frank tripping tonight. I'll just let y'all know. I've never seen Frank bet a under in my life. We're going to go Indiana. They're taking on Ohio State. Ohio State, I believe, is going to find a way to lose this game, even though they're going to be up. Indiana just got dog walked by Illinois. It's basketball, bro. It's the Big Ten. Shit happens. Give me Indiana plus 7.5. I like them outright too, plus 240. But if you know Big Ten basketball, we just saw it last night, Minnesota, Michigan. It's going to be one of those games. Somebody's going to hit a huge shot late. It's going to be tied up with 7 seconds left. Somebody else is going to hit a huge shot. It's going to come down to free throws. Not going to take the money line because of that reason, but I do like Indiana outright. I think they win this game. But I'm going to take the plus 7 and a hook. Feels like way too much. I think this should be more of 2.5, maybe even 1.5. This should honestly be a pick 'em. It's the Big Ten, bro. Ohio State ain't beaten. I don't think they've got some wins, but I think they're on a 3-game losing streak. Tough ones too. Lost by 6 to Michigan State. I don't remember the game between. And then they lose by Wisconsin earlier this week by 3. Anyway, Iowa. They're in the Southern California, where Mick Cronin is being taken as a joke by his delusional, trash-ass players. Breaking my heart. What's happened to the sport? Kids just don't want to work no more. They rather blame it. This coach tripping, bruh. I ain't tripping. I'm a transfer anyway, bruh. I ain't worried about what you was talking about. Soft-ass kids, soft-ass results. Give me Iowa plus 6.5. I tried to back UCLA twice, thinking, hey, y'all just got called out. He's calling you out because he loves you and he knows you can be tougher. If he thought y'all was really just soft, he would say, I'm fucked up by recruiting. But he tried to light a fire like they're playing soft. They could play better. They're not. Give me Iowa plus 6.5 for that reason alone. Hate betting Iowa, though. Iowa's just one of those teams, bro. I hate betting them. But I'm taking Iowa plus 6.5 tonight. And then the late game, Boise State, New Mexico. If you got plans tonight, cancel them. If they're your true friend, invite them over. Say, hey, man, fuck what you talking about, bro. Let's hit New Mexico, Boise State game at my house. I'll get the pizza. You get the whiskey. New Mexico, minus 3.5. This is going to be a damn good basketball game. This is Mount West basketball at its finest. They're taking on Boise State. And then for the best bet of the night, it's in the Big East. I need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horns. Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton, but you can call me Frank, with the best bet of the damn day. We're going to the Big East. I don't think this game gets out of the 60s. If it does, somebody's staying in the 60s. I definitely don't think this game gets to where both teams are in the 70s. Give me the under 141.5 on Providence and Villanova. Providence, give me the under 141 and a hook there again. I just don't see it getting out of the 60s, bro. 68, 60, 62, 65, 71, 66. I don't think it gets too close to that 141 mark. I'm going to be on the under Providence and Villanova as the best bet of the damn day.
Hey, guys.
I knew that was going to happen. Sorry about that. Hey, guys. Ugly. Just looking ass on somewhere. I'm still pissed off this motherfucker texts me, bro. It's not what he texts me. It's not who he texts me. It's what he texts me about. I'm going to slap his ass, bro. This my brother, dog. I'm just messing with you. Y'all know how it is. It's your family that piss you off the most. But anyway, let's recap these bets before we get the hell up on out of here. Out of yonder, baby. It's captained by a hook. We're going to go New Mexico, -3.5. That's the late game, taking on Boise State. Iowa, +6.5, taking on the mighty, mighty Bruins of UCLA. And then give me Indiana, one of my favorite bets tonight, +7.5, taking on Ohio State. And then Frank's best bet of the day, under 141 and a hook, taking on Providence and Villanova. Friday night hoops, baby. Don't get no better than that. I remember when Friday night was literally just Akron, Ohio. That was like the best game of the night you can get on Friday. Shout out to some TV networks. As much as I hate them and they ruining sports, this Friday night primetime hoop stuff they're doing, it's giving us some good slates. Ain't mad at it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. And thank you for the support. It's Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dobbs. Going live on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Friday. It is the 17th day of the year, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Please take all of these wagers at your own risk, and please, please gamble responsibly. Presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare down greatness. One last laugh. Rest in peace, Bob Uecker.
See
You're looking around for the ball there in that middle picture.
then the umpire finally picked it up and gave it to me, and I made my throw.
Umpire finally picked it up and gave it to me, and I made my throw. Safe to say, the runner is safe at second. Dobbs.